Stop scrolling. Imagine dropping one 5-word comment on Instagram and watching your enemy hand you a multi-million-dollar ad campaign for free. That's exactly what happened when WNBA All-Star Kelsey Plum tried to roast rookie phenom Caitlin Clark in front of the entire league. Plum threw the punch, Clark never raised her voice. Yet 48 hours later, Plum's jab was trending as the worst cell phone of 2025, and Clark walked away with more fans, more sponsors, and total control of the conversation. How did one silent flex flip a hostile press room, embarrass a veteran star, and expose a hidden jealousy agenda that's been brewing inside the WNBA for months? Stick around, because over the next 10 minutes you're going to see the frame-by-frame moment Plum's Pay Us protest turned into a viral misfire, the icy 8-word clapback Clark used to weaponize Nike's global reach, and why every league exec now whispers the same 4 words: don't poke the goose. You'll never look at social media beef or power plays quite the same again. The Las Vegas Sun hadn't set on WNBA All-Star Saturday when players walked onto the orange carpet wearing black tees stamped "Pay us what you owe us." It was a bold, unified statement about salaries that trail far behind male counterparts. Cameras flashed, commentators applauded, and Twitter hailed the sisters in arms moment until the post-game press conference. Kelsey Plum sat beside fellow sharpshooter Sabrina Ionescu, grinned just a shade too satisfied. Reporters lobbed the first softball about the protest. Plum answered, but midway she veered off script. Not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. Body language said everything. Plum's eyebrows arched, tone dipped into sing-song shade. Next to her, Ionescu's shoulders tense. She glanced at the ceiling, the universal sign for please stop talking. In less than 10 seconds, the room shifted from solidarity to sides. Within minutes, the clip hit X, formerly Twitter, hashtag spiraled, hashtag Team Clark, hashtag Plum Petty, hashtag Goose Shade. Fans dissected frames, noting the smirk, the dig, and Sabrina's "I'm not co-signing this" frozen smile. ESPN re-racked the soundbite on repeat. Overnight, YouTube compilations titled "Kelsey Plum's Jealous Rant" racked up hundreds of thousands of views. Here's why it landed like a sucker punch. Clark hadn't played a single All-Star minute. She'd been ruled out with a nagging groin strain and was already back in Indianapolis rehabbing. She wasn't part of the team meeting because she wasn't even on site. So Plum's line came off less like accountability and more like a strategic swipe at the Golden Goose everyone credits for this newfound leverage. And the basketball world doesn't forget who fills arenas. But the real genius was how Clark responded, not with a counterpunch, but with a perfectly placed whisper. Context: the internet's favorite missing ingredient, Clark's rehab schedule locked her in Indy. Medical staff limited travel, and anyone who's tweaked a groin knows cross-country flights undo hours of therapy. She'd already FaceTimed the players union about ongoing CBA ideas. Her stance on fair pay? Crystal clear. Yet Plum's shot framed her as selfish, absent, unsupportive. Sports radio jumped to hot take mode. Is Clark too big for locker room activism? Pundits debated her commitment, all while Clark iced, stretched, and kept receipts. What social media forgot is that Clark's presence alone, on any given night, outdraws half the league combined. Networks schedule fever games in prime time because casual viewers tune in to watch step-back history. Her rookie jersey outsold every veteran's in the last decade. Expansion fees quadrupled the moment her influence hit financial models. So calling out her absence was like scolding a power plant for not showing up to the candle-making workshop. Cute, but misguided. And Clark knew it. Still, rather than rant, she waited for the perfect stage, and her rival walked straight into it. 48 hours later, Nike unveiled a sleek photo wall at its Las Vegas house event. Part pop-up store, part influencer playground. Front and center banners featured Caitlin Clark launching one of her limitless range threes. Neon tagline: range changes everything. Enter Kelsey Plum. As a longtime Under Armour athlete, her contract required public appearances all weekend. She stepped onto the carpet to support a WNBA cross-brand panel, but the sponsor backdrop was Nike's. Paparazzi snapped pictures, ironically turning her into free promo for Clark's biggest partner. Clark's move? A single IG comment on Plum's smiling photo. Appreciate the Nike ad. 8 words, 1 emoji, that's it. No @ tag, no hashtags, no extra punctuation. But the subtext screamed, "You tried to bury me, instead, you're modeling for my sneaker line." The post detonated. Fans lit up the replies. "Cold as ice, sheesh, silent kill." Even NBA vets dropped laughing cry emojis. Within a day, the comment eclipsed Plum's original like count. SportsCenter tweeted a screenshot. Late night talkers turned it into punchlines. Under Armour PR likely sighed into their keyboards. That's brand judo, using an opponent's momentum against them. Plum's dig became Clark's billboard, all without a single press room rebuttal.
First wave. Social. Tweets calling Plum petty outnumbered her defenders 10-1.
TikTok edits paired her comment with clown music and flashing L overlays. One viral clip spliced Sabrina's side-eye freeze frame with the caption, "When your friend fumbles the bag on live TV." Second wave. Media. Former Bulls champ Stacey King blasted the shade on his podcast. Why punch the golden goose laying checks for all of you? Charles Barkley chimed in at Summer League, branding it dumb as hell. Analysts on The Ringer debated whether jealousy had officially entered self-sabotage territory for some way players. Third wave. Numbers. ABC's All-Star broadcast dipped 36% in viewership from the week prior's Fever-Sun game. Without Clark on court, ratings deflated. Networks saw the stat, advertisers too. Every exec took note. You can't slam the star and then cash her checks. Plum's IG comments flooded with snake emojis. She posted workout vids, top replies asked, "Where's your Nike deal?" She went silent, blocking several troll accounts. By week's end, her name trended twice, both tied to Clark. Not stats, not wins. Shade. Clark's leverage in hard numbers. Caitlin Clark signed an 8-year endorsement deal with Nike worth about $28 million. The agreement includes royalties from an upcoming signature shoe that will launch for both men and women. That figure alone places her alongside the highest paid athletes in women's sports. When Clark plays, television ratings jump. Fever games that feature her averages roughly 2.4 million viewers. League games without her settle closer to 900,000. Networks have noticed. They are shifting more primetime slots to Indiana simply because she is on the court. Investment numbers tell the same story. A new WNBA expansion team in San Francisco paid $250 million to join the league. Only 2 years ago, the entry fee was $50 million. Team owners and bankers point directly to Clark's arrival when they explain the spike. Merchandise sales confirm the trend. Clark's jersey sells 3 times faster than any veterans. Overall WNBA gear sales are up 500% from last season, and her name accounts for the largest share. On social media, she owns the conversation. Across all platforms, she has more than 5 million followers and an engagement rate near 8%. That is unusually high for a professional athlete and makes her posts prime real estate for sponsors. These numbers show why Clark's influence is bigger than any single game or highlight. She moves viewers, dollars, and long-term investment. In today's WNBA, that leverage is impossible to ignore.
The W has always preached sisterhood and largely lived it. But superstars shift tectonic plates. Veterans who've hustled the decades see a rookie leapfrog endorsement cues and feel the pinch. It's human. The question, do you lift with her or yank her down? Some, like Stewart, Alyssa Thomas, and Jackie Young, openly praise Clark's impact. Stewart tweets, "Pay us and support the goose." Others, side eyes in post-game lines, cryptic subtweets about media favorites, tensions you can feel during player introductions. League offices tread carefully. On one hand, they hype Clark in promos. On the other, they issue statements that no one player is bigger than the league. True, but telling. Their officiating inconsistency, Clark draws flagrant elbows, no flagrants called, raises eyebrows about protecting the product. It's a fragile collision. Grassroots culture of egalitarianism meets capitalist reality of star-driven revenue. Every sport crosses this threshold. The WNBA just reached theirs faster than expected, courtesy of a 22-year-old from Iowa City. And when tension peaks, greatness often answers on the court. 2 nights after Nikegate, the Fever traveled to Phoenix. Cameras zoomed in on Clark's bruised thigh. Commentators speculated about distractions. First quarter, Clark drops 9 quick points, whips a no-look dime, and barks, "Let's go" at the visiting bench. Twitter charts spike again. Live highlight reels flood feeds faster than the broadcast lag. Analyst caption, "Silent off-court, savage on-court." Opponents try bullying, Clark splashes logo threes, points to the crowd. Fans chant MVP in an arena 1,800 miles from Indianapolis. Stats finish: 26 points, 11 assists, 3 steals. Post-game reporters ask about Plum's comment. Clark smiles: "I'm focused on hoops and helping the league grow. Next question." Translation: scoreboard. Social graphs show sympathy for Clark eclipsing any residual hostility. Even casual sports fans, folks who couldn't name 3 W teams last spring, tweet hashtag 100% Team Caitlin, which sets the stage for the bigger battle.
2 nights after NikeGate, the Fever traveled to Phoenix. Cameras zoomed in on Clark's bruised thigh. Commentators speculated about distractions. First quarter, Clark drops 9 quick points, whips a no-look dime, and barks, "Let's go!" at the visiting bench. Twitter charts spike again. Live highlight reels flood feeds faster than the broadcast lag. Analyst caption: "Silent off court, savage on court." Opponents try bullying. Clark splashes logo threes, points to the crowd. Fans chant MVP in an arena 1,800 miles from Indianapolis. Stats finish: 26 points, 11 assists, 3 steals. Post-game reporters ask about Plum's comment. Clark smiles: "I'm focused on hoops and helping the league grow." Next question. Translation: scoreboard. Social graphs show sympathy for Clark eclipsing any residual hostility. Even casual sports fans, folks who couldn't name 3 Webcrawls teams last spring, tweet hashtag 100% Team Caitlin, which sets the stage for the bigger battle. 1 press room pot shot, 1 perfectly timed IG reply. That's all it took to flip an All-Star Weekend narrative into a masterclass in silent domination. Kelsey Plum tried to spotlight Caitlin Clark's absence. She accidentally underlined her own irrelevance to the bottom line. Corporate sponsors took notes, broadcasters tallied ratings, casual viewers picked sides, and most chose the silent assassin who lets numbers talk. The lesson is stark. In modern sports, attention is currency, and Clark mints it by the mintful. Shade her if you must, but remember that every syllable typed against her ricochets into another burst of engagement, and engagement is the algorithmic oxygen brands live on. So where does that leave the WNBA? 2 options: celebrate the goose, protect her health, amplify her story, and ride the rising tide she's created for everyone. Or gatekeep and gripe. Watch new fans walk, watch sponsors hesitate, and wonder why growth stalls just as momentum peaked. Caitlin Clark has already chosen her path. Play harder, speak softer, cash bigger, lift higher. She doesn't need to drown out the noise, she simply rises above it until the noise becomes her music. Which side are you on? If you're 100% Team Clark, respecting the game, the grind, and the grace, drop a I, dub, or 100 in the comments, smash subscribe, ring the bell, because the next silent flex could land tonight, and you'll want front row seats when the internet flips again. Remember, true power never shouts, it just wins. Quietly, relentlessly, and with a smile sharp enough to slice shade into confetti.